And in these 5 domains, we had 5 questions each to answer. And all these questions were relevant to me, myself, to know what my emotional intelligence are all about. Alright? And you all did answer, you tried to add the score and everything, it's okay. So whether you got a very good score or you got a less score, it is immaterial because it was an exercise which was knowing yourself. It was not for me, it was for you yourself. And then we started reflecting upon it. And we reflected to see what are the points which are really standing out. Do I need to do something about it? Can I actually do something about it? Do I need some help? Or I never knew about this. Anyway, now with the introductory 2 exercises, I'm so sure you know a little more about yourself. And by the end of the day, you will understand what emotional intelligence is all about. How to regulate your emotions is a very important exercise and a very important point which we need to understand during the course of this workshop. Alright? Many wrong things happening around. In this world where injustice prevails, we as teachers should be symbols of justice. Justice in a classroom, justice in our families. We can change the world. They said teachers are the nation builders. Let's build a nation where all these things are not happening. We can do it. It's only up to us. As long as we are truthful, if I do my job sincerely, if I teach well in the class and make sure every child understands what I teach, alright? If I am helpful, one thing which is very important is keep helping everybody. I remember our grandmothers would say, Neki kar, kuhe mein dal. Right? If you keep helping everybody in your life, believe me, you'll be very happy. We don't know others would be happy or not, but I would be happy person. My journey is my journey. My journey is not her journey. She has her own journey. I have 90 years, 110 years, 120, 120 years, I don't know. But my personal journey has to be a happy journey. And happy journey would be when we can manage our emotions.
This is the challenge, to be happy in all circumstances.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You are not in a society where 100% everything is correct, where everything is 10 on 10. But how you can make it 10 on 10 for yourself, your family, your area of workplace, everything, that is the challenge.
Yes.
You'll never find an ideal world. You'll never find an ideal husband. You'll never find an ideal mother. You'll never find an ideal child. It's a mixture of everything. And the place is Microsoft Office, Gurgaon. We are having Edu Days, 2 days together where Microsoft innovative educators or teachers from all around the country had gathered there, and we were supposed to do certain activities and certain things. Now during this time, there are about 50 showcase schools. We are one of them. Showcase school is all about technology. We are one of them. So somehow the Microsoft were pretty happy with us, and they said, Madam, we pick up your school and you're supposed to address a press conference. And they picked up 2 principals. One was another gentleman and the other was me. We were there at the press conference, right? So this gentleman, the fellow principal, is the owner of the school. This principal has a school in the capital of the country, that is in India. This gentleman has a 5-star school with everything available over there. This fellow principal has spent many lakhs to get all the products and everything to make a school a 5-star culture school where everything is IT, and hence obviously it was a showcase school. And this principal here, her school is in a village. It has got 1st generation learners, right? Parents have never gone to school. The other day I had an admission inquiry. The mother and the father says, देखो मैडम साड़ी ता जिंदगी निकल गई जिदा निकली है साडे बच्चे कुछ बन जान. And this is not the first time I get this scene. I have this scene many times in my office when they come and say that we haven't studied it. Please, a life of our children should be made. Alright? So, for me, that is my clientage. The 1st generation learners, we put stars in their eyes and say, you are the best children born on earth. You have to build your own life. You have to make everything good and great. And they all want to go abroad. We know this is an issue in Punjab, where everybody wants to go to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America, and everywhere else. All right? So, and then, this event was for 2 days, 19th and 20th. On 19th, my school team of boys, they won the first prize at national level for a project on artificial intelligence. Right? And what they did was to make a bot. And a bot, you have to pick up a real issue and then find a solution for that issue. So the real issue was that the CBSE has introduced artificial intelligence in grade 8 and 9, and there are no books as such. All right, teachers are being trained here and there. So the curriculum is there. So these children, they prepared a bot. A bot is a technical term wherein if you type a question on the system, it gives you an answer. So they prepared a bot which could answer Mr. Peter, they called it. So there's a technical face comes in and the face answers. Sometimes it's just answering the questions. So this, if you put, what is AI? The answer comes in AI is this. You want a male voice, you get a male voice. You want a female voice, very much like Siri and all those things, all answers you get. Entire 9th class and 8th class curriculum was made by these children, and you could get answer for anything which was there in that book, which was something very, very good, which could be used by every CBSE school. So we got a first prize. So when we were having this conversation, so that we had the Microsoft India head, we had a Microsoft Asia Pacific head, and then 2 of us, and then some press reporters. So this man, he said quite a bit, and then it came, Madam, would you like to begin? I said, okay. I started talking about, and then I realized I was getting very, very emotional, because somehow being the founder principal and somehow being a passionate worker as such, I said, do you know that? These children who have got the first prize today, they sat in a plane for the first time in their life. They never traveled by air. And I found tears rolling down my eyes. I was wondering, this is something happy. Why should I have tears rolling down my this thing? My voice was choked. And then I couldn't do much about it. I tried to compile myself, and then I continued talking for quite some time. And then soon my time was over and my fellow principal's time began. I still could not, I could not control my own self. I thought I must go out for a glass of water. So this is a closed room, airtight room, air-conditioned room. So I walk out and stand there for a minute. Mrs. Dhillon, what is this nonsense you are doing? But then it was emotions. I had not planned for such an affair. I go out, so one of the organizers, she comes up, it's all right, madam, it's okay if you show your emotions, if you let your emotions go. I was still wondering, hey, kya kiya hai? But anyway, and then I was my real self, let's go back. Manage my emotions. I went back, sat there, and then again started praising my school, whatever they asked me questions. But then, you have to analyze whether my emotions were relevant or not relevant. Was it required? Were they matching with each other? Sort of tears coming out for some success. But then they said, "Khushi ki aansu the." We have heard this so many times. We've heard people say, "Khushi ki aansu the." Like that, right? So it happens sometimes like that. So now, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to close your eyes, recall an incident where your emotions were not matching. Some incident or an event where you felt something, all right? And then when you realize it, your emotions were not matching with the incident. Can you please close your eyes now? For the next few minutes, we close our eyes and record. Please close your eyes. Set point. Now, what is the set point? They say, how I grew up in my family, how my genetically what I have inherited from my families, all right? That starts the beginning of happiness in my life. So many times we say, oh, he's always angry and annoyed. He had a very bad childhood. We say that, we read it, we see movies on it, right? So set point is that point from where your happiness begins, and normally it is known to be dependent upon your genetics and upon your childhood. Okay? How your parenting has happened. Subject like physics And then he was teaching physics. So there was this boy who would get up and go and sit there, and then he'd move back and he'd go and sit there. So the teacher was a little perturbed. He said, "What are you doing? Why don't you sit at one place?" A normal behavior issue, a normal misbehavior as we call it. So the child says, "Okay, sir," and he goes. And the moment the sir turns, so this child he acts as if he's spitting. Something like that. And this teacher didn't know, but the students, they did laugh. The coordinator who was there in the corridor saw it. And then we had an enactment. हमने किया ही नहीं, देखा ही नहीं. Camera देखो. So something of that particular type also happens. Now that is being disrespectful to the teacher. Alright? But is he breaking the rules of the school? But we have to handle that child. Because he has acted in such a manner which is in front of the entire class. Which is uncalled for. We have to curb that behavior. If we don't curb it, then it will continue forever. He will be a bad example for the rest of the class students. And this might lead to indiscipline in the system, in the entire scenario. And just imagine this child had a fracture a year back and special exams were conducted by some of the teachers with whom he was behaving like that. And what happens more is the mother was called, "Please come, your child didn't behave properly, we need to talk to you." So when the teacher is talking, one of them, he said, "आपने बच्चों को यही घर पे सिखाया?" So the mother says, "I don't want to talk to you." हमने तो नहीं सिखाया. "We want to meet the principal." So they come charging. Madam. Say, "हाँ जी, what happened?" "Your teacher said, आपने बच्चों को घर में ये सिखाया." I said, "नहीं, आपने तो नहीं सिखाया, लेकिन हमने भी नहीं सिखाया." We don't teach this to our children, and you don't teach to your children, but still our children are learning all this. It is the society, it is the media, it is the effect. You and me together, we have to understand and solve this problem. So if I have not taught something wrong to the children, but I still have to make sure that I make the child on the right track and make sure he does not misbehave. Today he misbehaves in the school, tomorrow he misbehaves with the family at home, and day after he's packed up and turned out from a company where he joins in because of his misbehavior, though he's a very bright child. So why do the children misbehave? Maybe they're seeking some attention, alright? Maybe they have some problem, genetic disorder. The teachers, when the mother comes to the school, the teacher says, "You know, ma'am, your son gets angry very fast. कुछ नहीं कर सकते, इसके पापा भी गुस्सा हो जाते हैं. अपने पिताजी पे चला. Hereditary. We need to understand all these things. It could be genetic, it could be hereditary, it could be, the environment in the house. Bad parenting. The parents were so busy earning and they were so materialistic in life that they were running to work and they could never give attention to the child at home. Bad parenting. The child seeks attentions by doing all the nonsense around. At least we call out his name 10 times in the class, and he loves to hear his name. So it could be any of those reasons. Let's see what are the reasons which are there. What causes misbehavior in the class is psychological factor, environmental factor, biological factor. Alright? So, cooking food.
Yes.
And she cooks beautifully. She's meditating because she's put in 100% in it. Yes. Mindfulness, I believe, is also meditation. When you know every minute and every moment what is happening. Alright? That I believe is also meditation. But to sum it up, whatever experience you have with meditation, whatever is your definition of meditation, it is always that meditation leads to happiness. The glow on the face of the person who meditates, who gives some time to himself and connects with either Lord, his word or his thought, whatever he gets connected to, that I believe leads to happiness, and that is meditation. Karm bhi meditation hota hai, taking the name of Lord Almighty bhi meditation hota hai, everything is meditation, the way you take it. Living a truthful life is also meditation for some of us. After that, it's hobby. Develop a hobby. If 10 minutes I give to some old Hindi movie songs, I am a happy woman. If 10 minutes I go and talk to my grandmother and say, "Hold the Sudadi ki haal hai," right? So Dadi says, "Oh, ye ho gaya," and you lend your ears to listen. That is also a hobby for some people. All right, spending some time with the grandparents. Okay, somebody would say, I cannot sleep till I read 10 pages of the book, the novel which I'm reading. That's my hobby to do. Okay, somebody would say, I have to pen down 4 lines, I write a diary every day. So that's my hobby. Then means everybody can have a hobby, and that hobby brings you happiness. That kept on talking about Twitter. You need to be on Twitter. You need to share your ideas with teachers of around the world. You need to understand that. Okay? From here, we take this point along with you. Okay? I move on to the next point. See, what we 2015, United Nations Organization, they decided we need to build a beautiful, sustainable world. 193 leaders from the world went to the headquarters. They signed an action plan, and that action plan is known as Global Goals. 17 goals as simple as no hunger, no poverty, good health, quality education, gender equality, then yes, it is clean water and sanitation. It's not physical fitness, it is good health. Mentioned over there. There is life on land, life below water, climate action, peace, justice, and strong institution. These leaders agreed to work for this goal. India has also signed this memorandum. World over in the school, they're talking about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We as leaders in the classroom need to tell our children what are these SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. We need to connect our curriculum with SDGs. I'm teaching about non-violence and about Gandhiji's struggle for Indian independence. I should talk about peace, justice, and strong institutions. Everything we do in the classroom, when we talk about oceans, when we study geography, we should be connecting it with climate action, goal number 13. Alright? So these are the important goals, and together, you, me, all schools in India, everywhere in this world, if we unite together and work together, I'm sure by 2030 we'll be able to build a sustainable world. 2030 is the deadline given for this action to be completed by all world leaders. India is also working for it. So is everybody else. We know about the climate strike, Friday strike as they call it. All this is happening in the world. If we are ignorant of this, if we are at fault if our children don't know this. So let us not be at fault. Let us not give our children half the bread. Let us make our children aware of the fact that sustainable development goal is your responsibility, my responsibility, everybody else's responsibility. All the best. Please talk about it in your classrooms. Thank you very much, you wonderful teachers.